Hello everyone, thank you very much and I welcome you once again to my YouTube channel. I'm by the name Barbara Kate, a student at Gulu University, taking you through computer session. And today we are going to look at PowerPoint. When I talk of PowerPoint is the power of point. Is a PowerPoint. So let's look at PowerPoint presentation. Whereby we are going to scroll our mouse and we come to new PowerPoint for presentation. It's one of the folder in the computer. Yeah, it's now running and it's here saying click to add first slide, and slide here is just like the page. For us we know it as the page, but it's the slide in computerized language. So let's come to slide and we have our first slide here where it's saying you click here to add the title, and I've decided to take you through communication. We're going to look at communication. I'm going to look at communication. Yeah, communication. Under communication, what are we going to look at? Under the subtitle, we are going to look at define. We're going to look at define computer communication. I love the word computer because it's now part of me. Note it also down as I also write mine. Define computer. Another one we are going to look at. We're going to look at the stages, okay? Are you together? The stages and levels of what? Of communication, okay? We're going to look at the level, the stage and the levels of communication. The next content is we are going to look at the written communication. I'll pick written communication out of the stages so that we can now look into it very well and understand it. Written communication, yeah. You try to be fast when you're typing a thing. Written communication. And written communication, we are going to look at examples of written communication. We are going to look at examples of written communication. Examples of written communication. The next one, you also keep on noting it down. I also note mine down. Examples of written communication. Another one, we're going to look at advantages. Advantages of written communication, because I told you we are going to look more about written communication. Communication. The next one, we're going to look at limitations. Let's look at also some other things that are limiting the factors, okay? So we're going to look at limitation. The factors hindering the written communication, okay? Or the factors that affect it. Limitation of written communication. Written communication. And now I can take you to question and answers. Where you ask me questions, then I answer questions. And answers. enhancers. Just in enhancers. Apart from that, then now we come to conclusion. Okay, come to conclusion. Okay, we come to conclusion. These are the things I'm going to take you through. Okay, now these are the things in our first slide. Let me create another slide so that now we can move on this content one by one and we understand them, because I said I'm going to take you through. So get ready as I create another slide here. Yes, you come here and you create it. This sign here helps you to create it very well. Now I've created the second slide. Now coming to my second slide here, that's saying I click to add the title. The title, what is the title of that thing I'm going to talk about in that slide? I'm going to define communication. We define communication. Okay, let me define communication. I am coming here, then I'll define my communication. Okay, now communication, how do you understand the term communication? Communication is just sending, and receiving. Receiving messages. Okay, we send and receive messages. This is the meaning of a simplified meaning of communication. Yeah, communication is sending and receiving of messages. That is in my second slide. Let me create another slide. Okay, and now we come to levels. Or stages of communication. Okay, level stages of communication. That is what I'm going to take you through. Level stages of communication. Let's look at the level stages of communication. Whereby here we're going to come here and say the levels. We're going to list the level and stages. Then first one I can like write intrapersonal, communication. Okay, interpersonal communication is one of my level stages of communication. Again, I come to another one. I have interpersonal. Okay, interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication. The next one I have small group. Okay, small group communication. Okay, another one we have public communication. Some of them, when they speak by itself, when I say public, you know, speaking to a large number of people. Okay, public. Okay, public communication. Okay, public communication. Okay, The next one we have organization communication. This can happen in an organization. Okay, yeah, organization. You also keep noting it down, follow it, be very keen when you're copying it, because if you miss a word it may lead to loss of marks. Communication, yeah. And the last one I have written communication, which I'm going to move through it and let you know much about your written communication. Written communication. Okay, now this is our third slide. Okay, let me create another slide here, the first slide, where I'm going to, because I'm not following the content in the first slide, I've now defined communication. I've even taken you through the level of the definition of the level of communication. Now I told you I'm going to talk more about written communication. Talk more about written communication. Okay, written communication, communication. Okay, let me talk more about written communication. I'm here. Let me define it. I'm going to define written communication. So let me define written communication. Written communication is the piece is the piece, okay? Is a piece of written information. Piece of written is a written information. Piece of written information, okay? Now this is the piece of written information, and I'm going to put it in the fourth slide. I want to add another slide here so that we can go through the examples of written communication. Examples of written communication. Examples of written communication. Okay, examples of written communication. Let's come here and list them. Even you guys know the example of written communication, and it's very easy. You know the things that are just written. I can give you one and you also give me others. Okay, let me give you the ones and you also search for others. Now let's look at the examples of written communication, whereby we have email. That's one of them. We have email. The second one, we have letters. Our letters not written, is part of written communication. We have letters. The next one, we have memos. We have memos. Even memos are written. Even minutes, we have minutes also. You pick in, follow me as I do my work. Even reports are written. Yeah, these are the examples I can give you. Others you can come across it. It's also part of like the manual. They're also part of the written communication, which I have not put it here, but it's part of it. Now this is our fifth slide. I can add another slide because I've not yet finished my content. Let me add the sixth slide. Okay, the sixth slide here, we are just going to look at advantages of written communication. Advantages of of written communication. Advantages of written communication. Now let's come here, we look at the example. Yeah, the examples are very many, and the first one, we can have science, we can have accuracy, we can have accuracy, and we know that it's accurate. Accuracy. I come to the second one. The second one, we have time saving. We can say fast. Yeah, you can say fast here. It's fast because it doesn't waste time. Fast. When I send it, it is fast. Okay. And another one, we have it like being permanent. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, I can move on. I can continue from there. Where we have it being permanent. It's permanent. It can last for so long. You know, something that you're putting it in writing where rain cannot wash. So it's permanent. I've given you 3 of them. Others you can find out. So this is in our second slide, and now I want to take it. There are also some limitations. There's also some challenges people face when they're using written communication. And what are those challenges? Let's come here in our 7 slides, whereby we are going to look at limitation, limitation of written. Hope you're following me, because I don't want you to miss any step. I want us to move together as one. I want all my students to pass. Okay, now we have limitation of written communication. What are the things limiting it? Number 1, we can like say it's costly. Okay, it's costly. It is costly. It involves some money. You have to pay. When you don't have money, then how can it work out? So it's costly. Another one, we have no immediate response. No immediate response. They don't give you the immediate response. They don't give you the response at that very time you're expecting it. It takes some duration for you to receive the response. Okay, so the response is not immediate. No immediate response. And another one, apart from no immediate response, no, like it's costly. Another one, we can also face other challenges. Some limitations are also there that you encounter when you're using this. And what are those? Alright, another one, we can say it's time consuming. Time consuming, because you can't expect me to write the thing just like that. I have to write and pass through it, so it's time consuming. Time consuming. So those are some of the limitations that is hindering written communication. Okay, now these are the limitations, and I believe I've taken you through the written communication and you have understood it very well. You have known what written communication is, and examples, advantages, and the limitation, what is limiting it. Now I want to create some page here just to thank all of you for the case of questions and answer you can send for me, then I answer for you, because to show that the students have understood what I've been teaching. Then they should be able to send for me questions and for me I'll be able to answer it accordingly. So for the request of ask questions and answer, you can send it through my account. I will be able to answer it and then I reply it. But I'm going to conclusion where I'm going to thank all of you. Thanks. I can say thanks. Yeah, this is what is in my 8th page. Thanks. I'm now thanking all of you for attending these lectures. Yeah, it's such an interesting lectures that I believe all of you have enjoyed it. And now, before I conclude, I've also got some stuff here that I want to explain it to you and you can understand it more. We have got some other things here whereby we have like this transition. You can decide to use dissolve, you can decide to use news, will, you can decide to use shape, we can decide to use wipe, cut, I can even decide to use mom, you can decide to use fed. Any of them you can decide to use it in decorating your work. Okay, like me, I want to use some design here. I want to use some design here to help me in designing my work in a very neat way. So if I want to use the design, I can come I come to shape style. Shape style can also help you. Shape effect, yeah, but I don't want to shape it, that's why I don't want to use that one. I don't even want to go to setting. Now I'm trying to scroll it in. I want to design my work in a very neat way. How can I design my work in a very... Now from here, I've said that I want to design my work, but I have some design here that I want to design with my work. I have this one, I have this one, I have this one and this one, but I'm in love with this one. So I can use this one to design my work. You see my work has changed in a very neat way. So this is how I've designed my work. If I want to like animate, I can animate it. I can also slideshow it. Yeah, if I want to insert, I can come here and insert any shape. Like I'm talking about written communication, I just come and type letters, then it will give me the shape of the letters, the email and other things. Then I can use it for the shape of the thing I want. Thank you very much. This is all I had to take you through. I believe you have understood, and it was such an interesting lesson. Hope to see you next time for the next lesson. Thank you very much. I still remain your teacher, and I will continue with you to complete a very simple thing for you, as well is now digitalized. Thank you very much. Please subscribe and like it.